Good morning. Mike Grill here, back from Sierra Vista, Arizona, where I spent the weekend visiting family. And today, what I'd like to do is discuss with you a simple yet extremely powerful tool that can help with developing your resiliency skills. It's called the Subjective Unit of Distress Scale, or we call it SUDS, SUDS. And it was developed by South African psychiatrist Joseph Wolpe back in the early 70s. And it's, again, a simple tool. And the gist of it is it's a quantifiable way to measure what you're going through respective to your stress level at any given point in time. It's a 0 to 10 scale, 0 being absolutely no stress at all, 10, your hair's on fire. And embedded in the description of this specific blog, you'll be able to click on a hyperlink that'll take you to the tool. But the tool, again, is designed to measure at any moment in time where you're at in your stress level. That's the first part. So, for example, you're going through something in your life, whether it's professional, personal, doesn't matter, and you say, okay, what is my SUDS at this given point in time? And you say, well, it's a 4. Well, that's a little high, so I'm a little stressed. That's the first part. That's how you use the tool in part A. In part B, now you have to do something to see if you can modify that stress level. Maybe it's diaphragmatic breathing, maybe it's a mindfulness exercise, but whatever you choose to use, you spend a couple minutes, 5 minutes, for example. I use diaphragmatic breathing. I'll do some of that for 5 minutes, and then I will use the SUD scale once again to score myself to see if there's been a change. Now, that's the background. The very interesting thing that I've found using this tool over the years is that as I introduced it to my work team at Centura Health, the EMS educator team, we started using the scale on a regular basis. I even introduced it to the chief medical officer, Dr. Alan Verrill, and at Littleton Hospital, and Dr. Devin Bateman, the chief medical officer at Parker Adventist Hospital here in Colorado, to try to get the tool incorporated into the corporate culture, if you will. So one day I was in my office and one of my EMS educators came in and we were going to have a meeting, a group meeting, and I said, hey, Tim, how's it going today? And Tim was going, oh, it's going good. It's going really well. I said, cool. I said, well, so what's your SUDS at this point in time? And he looked me in the eye and he said, about a 15. I was like, a 15? Did you say 15? He said, yeah, it's about a 15. So right away, on a 0 to 10 scale, that's off the charts. What was Tim telling me? He was telling me that, number one, I know you know what I'm saying as far as the language. You know what SUDS is. You taught it to me. Although my words are saying that I am okay, I'm doing pretty good. When we're using the SUD scale, it told me he's extremely stressed out. I had never thought about using SUDS in that context. So what would you do in that situation if Tim came into your office? Number one, understand he is reaching out, obviously reaching out to you. He understands you know what a 15 is. And then number two, there's some type of intervention that you can do. And in my case, it was really simple. I just said, come in and sit down, let's talk, shut the door. And 30 minutes later, as he got ready to walk out, I asked him, so what is your SUD score, Tim? He goes, it's about a 4. Mission accomplished. Again, the important part of this is to quantify prior and after the intervention. But the lesson learned for me was that I had no idea that I could use it with my team where they would openly trust me enough to say, I'm struggling, I'm reaching out, and you're part of my social support system. Can you help me? So for today, what I'd like you to do as we close up this short blog is to click on the hyperlink that you see in the descriptor of this blog. Look at the SUDS tool, and the challenge is to go ahead and start using it immediately and share it with your friends and your colleagues. And I think if you share it with your institution, one great way to measure how it's being incorporated into either a hospital setting, a fire department, police department, is if you start hearing people walking up and down the hallways and asking you, Mike, how's your SUDS level today? Or Michael, how's your SUDS level? Thank you so much for today. As always, make it a choice this week to remain happy, healthy, and whole.